This is the scene live in Vegas as we welcome you to the WrestleMania post-show presented by Snickers. Snickers satisfies. Sit back with us as we give you all the reaction, analysis, and live guests following WrestleMania Day number 1 and the shocking results and what we just witnessed with Cody Rhodes retaining the Undisputed Championship, but Randy Orton punt-kicking Cody afterwards.
We saw Cody have to dig down deep into his arsenal, bend and even break a few rules because the Viper presented such a challenge for the undisputed WWE Championship. But Randy attempted to go low. Cody beat him to the kick, and that would make the difference. A pivotal moment in this epic main event of WrestleMania Saturday. A Cody cutter picked out of mid-air into the RKO. And a man who cannot avoid the spotlight if his life depends on it. Pat McAfee commandeered a referee shirt, ate an RKO for his troubles, which opened the door for the American Nightmare to deliver a Crossroads and retain his gold in the main event.
I know we have a lot of questions, and a lot right here from Randy Orton, who, the first question, will Cody Rhodes even be able to talk come Friday night?
And Randy Orton brings out this devastating punt kick, which we haven't seen for quite some time, leaving Cody with a lot of questions going into Friday at SmackDown.
Well, the first question being, where the hell am I? Because Cody just really had his brain punted out of his skull. But the closing scenes of WrestleMania Saturday, the 14-time world champion in possession of potentially number 15. Randy didn't get it tonight, but what does this mean for SmackDown, Joe? What does Friday night look like?
And what this looks like right now, Corey, is 50,816 exiting Allegiant Stadium after a sensational day of action. And many of them, as has been the case through the years, will make their way right here behind us for the post-show. And that is how we say good evening, everybody. Joe Tessitore, Peter Rosenberg, Corey Graves, and Big E. Over the course of the next hour-ish or more, we will have numerous live guests, including the new Women's Tag Team Champions. Nikki, Brie, and Paige will be with us. We expect Jacob Fatu to come here to the set following his victory in the unsanctioned match. And Liv Morgan. After her victory, Liv Morgan is now the new Women's World Champion. We will see who else shows up. But for now, let's get to all the news and reaction happening. Let's go back inside to Kathy Kelly.
Well, Joe, you mentioned those over 50,000 fans. I was out here for that main event, watching it with them. And, usually you see split fans of some of them cheering on one person, some of them cheering on the other. But I have never seen so many people with disdain for one person, and that one person is Pat McAfee. Now, there were some people following the match who were cheering for Cody. There were certain people out behind me who were also hoping that Randy Orton would walk out of here with another championship. Unfortunately, that didn't happen tonight, but they are leaving, coming back tomorrow, more excited than ever. And let's head on over to Jackie Redmond. Kathy, thank you so much. I have to wonder the state of both Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton. You can see Cody's behind me right now. He is battered, he is bruised, he is bloody. Just moments ago, he actually took a second about halfway up the ramp to get down on both knees, touch the mat, take a moment, I assume, to kind of process everything that has just happened in tonight's main event. He retains the championship, but my goodness, what it took for him to be able to do that, for him to stop halfway up that ramp, take a moment, and collect his thoughts, says a lot. As for Randy Orton, I don't know when we will see him again. It took him an entire 10 minutes to come up the ramp. He was moving slowly, he was limping, he was grabbing his back, but I'll tell you one thing, Joe Tessitore, he was a blank stare, straight ahead, did not look to his left, did not look to his right, engaged with absolutely nobody, had to take a second for himself once he got to the top of the stage. In fact, it honestly looked like he almost lost his balance, like he was a little bit out of it. He looked back at Cody, who was still being attended to by referees in the ring, and then made his way out. So one thing I do know after what we witnessed tonight is that both of those guys are in rough shape.
There's no doubt about it, Jackie. Both in rough shape. We saw how much Randy's back was bothering him. Then you saw a damaged and bloody Cody just passing right behind her. Big E, let's go back to what we saw in our championship match.
Look, Randy Orton was disoriented after the eye poke, hits referee Charles Robinson with the RKO. And here's Cody. Look, I thought Cody had to be a little dirty, a little grimy to get things done here tonight, and we see him have to go to the low blow to win here.
They say turnabout is fair play, but when the stakes are as high as they were tonight, you have to understand the mentality of both competitors. This is for the undisputed WWE Championship. Here you see McAfee, after failing to execute what we assumed was expected to be a fast 3 count, obviously drawing the ire of the Viper, but Randy taking his eye off the prize for just a half a second allowed Cody to deliver the cross.
And listen, I know we're going to talk about all of this stuff that happened at the end of the match. We cannot forget, we had an absolute classic up until the end. That was a fantastic match, and now we're only going to think about the damage that Randy Orton inflicted on Cody after the final bell.
How many times in the build to this match did we hear the phrase 2009 Randy Orton? You just saw 2009
And
Randy Orton.
I don't remember the actual medical terminology. I believe it was intermittent explosive disorder that Randy was suffering from at that time. The Viper can turn on the dime. He can snap. As we just saw, Randy Orton can be as dangerous as anybody in WWE or beyond. Was it just emotions or was it deeper? Was this a calculated plan on Randy's part?
And now the crowd filing in here, having just witnessed WrestleMania day number 1 as we continue on here with the WrestleMania post-show that's presented by Snickers. Snickers satisfies. It was a show that really moved today. Then we get to the end, and the role Pat McAfee played, that was one of the big themes and questions coming in. It was bookended today. Before we had our opening bell, there he goes and takes away Alicia Taylor's moment for the introduction. Hits Cody with the microphone. All of a sudden, everybody's brawling. A crossroads is hit on Pat McAfee. The announce desk comes into play, and Jelly Roll cleans things up with an elbow drop through the desk. We thought that was the end, perhaps, of seeing Pat McAfee.
Oh, of course.
Up until the very, very end, when he comes in. This is what happened earlier, guys.
Yeah, and this part was an insane way to start this match. Jelly Roll out of nowhere. Graves was clairvoyant, knew it was going to happen. And of course, we see Pat, we think we're done. But guys, here's my question. In the end, was Pat effective at all? He said he guaranteed a win for Randy Orton. He didn't deliver.
He was anything but. In many ways, he might have been a distraction for Randy. He definitely was at the end. I don't think he helped Randy get to his goal by any means.
Hey, don't you think Randy gave us the answer as to how effective Pat was, right?
Exactly.
I think the RKO was the answer, Big E.
Absolutely. And look, I think in many ways, I thought this was going to be the start of something big, a union between those two. This thing fell apart very quickly.
And then it creates a lot of questions. Chief among them for you, Corey, would be what?
I'm left now in the wake of the main event of WrestleMania Night 1 with more questions than answers. And sometimes that's a good problem to have. That means that this rivalry, this story, this 20-year saga of Orton and Rhodes doesn't appear to be over. It could just be getting started. But what does it look like? Who plays what role? Does Cody have what it takes inside to get nasty, to really break the rules, to combat the Viper, to combat whatever is going on?
But didn't we see that he had that tonight, right? He was willing
In
to
small
go there.
doses, but at the end, who was left standing? Randy Orton. Randy Orton standing with Cody's championship in the center of the ring to end WrestleMania. That can't sit well with Cody Rhodes.
No, we're going to continue to discuss and analyze what happened with Cody retaining the Undisputed Championship, and yet, in the end, Randy getting the best of him with the punt kick to the head and the beatdown. Both men greatly damaged. That news analysis continues. Meanwhile, the surprises came nonstop. The biggest of all, and one of the biggest reactions, by the way, we have the international calls, which I love when you get to this global spectacle. It came in our Women's Tag Team Championship Fatal 4-Way with this moment.
انتبه هذه رامبيج 10 feet اتقان لقب جديد incroyable avec Brie Bella félicitations à elle. On revient évidemment sur les moments forts du match.
Y primer campeonato en pareja para Brie Bella, y primer campeonato en pareja para Brie después de tanto tiempo fuera de WWE.
So 8 years away, and then she returns, and she does so with gold in her arms again. Paige, filling in for an injured Nikki Bella, joins up with Brie to win the Women's Tag Team Championships. Great crowd here for the post show at WrestleMania 42, and they're only gonna get louder because the new champs are here. She's back. It's Paige and the Bellas.
It's so good to see you. So good to see you. Welcome home. Amazing. Congrats.
Well, congratulations. Congrats. Congratulations.
Clean it up.
Take a seat. Congratulations. Congratulations. That was great. Yeah, sit right next to me. What a moment. What a celebration that continues here outside Allegiant Stadium.
It's all right.
It is always special when there are new champs at WrestleMania. That is one of those Mania moments I don't think anybody's gonna forget. How do you characterize how that felt and that kind of reception?
Oh my gosh. Oh. Thank you. Thank you. Hey, it's good to be home. About time. Sorry, you guys, I am losing my voice, by the way.
It's understandable.
Man, I don't know, the feeling was bonkers. And to be in the ring with these two, I mean, I'm Pale Bella. It's not 2016 unless I'm home, baby.
Right?
Yeah.
Feels like that.
Did you ever fathom Paige after 8? I can't believe it's been 8 years, by the way. I thought 3 or 4. 8 years is insane. Did you ever fathom? Was the goal always to come back?
100%. WWE's my home. I was raised here. I mean, Biggie, I've known you since I was 18 years old. I'll be 34 this year, babe. Is that crazy?
Nuts.
I knew Graves. Oh, my gosh,
I know.
it's a
I'm
long time.
guilty as
But
charged.
yeah, I'm a WWE girl forever, you know?
And a total diva.
And a total diva, baby.
Right? Oh, yeah.
Paige, it's been a long time. It's been far too long since you've gotten to experience a WWE crowd, let alone a WrestleMania crowd. What was going through your mind when your music hit and you stepped out onto that stage into 50,000 plus people that were shocked?
Oh my gosh. This is my house. I mean, I didn't know how anyone was gonna react. And walking out there, I forgot how big WrestleManias were. So walking out there, I was like, oh my God, I can't see the end of everybody right now. Yeah, it was magical, surreal. I forgot how to skip at one point. I was like, what do I do? What does Paige do? Like, it was magical. Look at me, huh?
And Nikki, obviously it was disappointing for you, suffering the injury, being unable to compete. How did this all come together and how long did you have this surprise in your back pocket?
Oh my goodness. So I actually got surgery 2 weeks ago from yesterday. So I managed to break, sprain, and tear my ankle. So listen how crazy though this is. When I'm headed into Birmingham to get surgery, guess who was in Birmingham? Like, yeah. And Brie and I literally on the phone, I was like, Brie, there's no way I'm gonna make WrestleMania, but like you still have to have your moment. And both at the same time were like, the only person that will still make it feel special and like family is Saraya's Paige. And so it's crazy how life works. It's a part of the journey, right? We always have that comeback. For some reason, I'm the comeback kid. But there's no one else, and I truly mean this, no other WWE superstar in the past or now that I would want to take my spot other than Paige.
Well, we hope you're on the mend. But you know what? A crutch does come in handy every so often. To have a crutch ringside, it can be very useful.
You know what I mean?
Let's take you through the conclusion of what happened in the Fatal
here
Four-Way.
we go.
How about it? Take us through it, guys.
Yeah. You know, I don't know what I'm allowed to sound here, but payback's a bitch.
Here we
Right?
see the closing moments. The Rampage. Old Faithful gets the job done and new. Brie, I have to ask you. I know you were as excited for this opportunity as Nicole was.
Right.
Your sister's unable to compete by your side, but the magnitude of this moment couldn't be lost on any of you. How did you feel when the bell rang and you realized that this was the reality?
I mean, this is something I've been striving for a really long time. I mean, I've been in a tag team since the womb. So, you know, I've always wanted to be a tag champion, and there's no better person to do it with than Paige. And having Nikki by her side, right? And to have the WrestleMania moment with all three of us, I mean, it was iconic for sure. So I have goosebumps even thinking about it. So it was
So
really
does this
special.
crowd right here. Everybody's loving this. Guys, thank you so much for coming to the post show, visiting with us, celebrating with gold. Give them a hand. You've got new champs.
Congratulations.
Thank
The
you
new
so
women's
much.
tag team champions as Paige
Okay.
makes the stunning return and they come out victorious. It is awesome. Awesome stuff here just outside Allegiant Stadium as now thousands and thousands of fans spill on here. We're going to continue discussing what happened with Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton. We will have more live guests, but let's get to the unsanctioned match and the brutality of Drew McIntyre and Jacob Fatu from the red toolbox to the leather belt, to the steel chairs, the wrench and eye gouges, and everything in between.
We were talking about it in the countdown show, the fact that Drew McIntyre was locked in on tonight, and we know Drew has a temper. We know that Drew has a tendency to go a little too far, and if Jacob Fatu wasn't up to the task of meeting the Scottish psychopath where he exists, this could have been a really rough night and a very different result for the Samoan Werewolf. But instead, here are the closing moments. A beautiful moonsault for a man that size. He has no business moving like that.
And what a massive win for Jacob Fatu. This match was such a fun, physical sprint, and these two men really needed this. I think they needed to remind the world who they are. Two big, athletic men putting it all on the line.
Jacob Fatu conquers Drew McIntyre after one of the most heated feuds in recent months. So please welcome to the Countdown Show set, the Samoan Werewolf. Yeah, man, what a win, my man.
My guy.
Congrats, Zeus.
Listen,
bro.
we questioned.
You know what I mean? Hey, WrestleMania 42, all gas, no breaks with it.
We're going to unleash a werewolf on Fremont Street tonight. It could be a scene. Jacob, congratulations. One of the highest stakes matchups of your career. WrestleMania, grandest stage. Let him have it. Let him have it. Shake him.
Do you understand the things that you have been through in your life, Jacob? We're talking about a lot. Things that Drew McIntyre highlighted during this rivalry. What does it mean for you to take this in at WrestleMania?
Barry, everything I done been through. I've been in WWE for 2 years, but it didn't really hit me until I was out there walking on the way back. And what I want to say to everybody who didn't know me before I got here to WWE, and everybody who's supporting me now, because God has Jacob Fatu arrived.
Yes, he has.
You know, your sincerity, your authenticity comes through. You can soak this up a little bit. It's a good thing to have. Last night, you sat there on SmackDown, and you said, I'm not the man that I had been. I'm different. You can tell emotionally, physically, in every aspect of your life, you're on the other side of the line now, and you've earned it. Well done.
Let me ask you this, Jacob, to that point. You're not the man you once were, but you're becoming the man you're meant to be. What does the future look like for the Samoan Werewolf in WWE?
You know what? Anything is possible because really, let's keep it 100. I was the last cousin that got here.
Yes.
So, hey, if I'm here right now, that means anything is possible with Jacob Fatu.
Jacob, let's talk about the entrance for a minute. I love the way you put on for your people. How important was that entrance, getting to shout out your people and your culture and your tradition? How important was that to you?
You know, the crazy thing about this, E, check this out. When they had WrestleMania 40 out there, when Roman and Cody first did it, you know, I'm still a fan. Keep it 100, man, I cried. It brought tears to my eyes because I manifested having my own culture, my people, my Polynesian people to have me out there. So God represented from Samoa, Tonga, Hawaii, Fiji, all my Polynesian people, man. So yes, it felt really good to have my culture and my heritage there.
That image of that mighty moonsault going through the table, that is going to be one of those Mania memories we talk about for a long time.
Yes, sir.
Congratulations to Jacob Fatu, delivering the victory in the unsanctioned match.
Thank you. Congratulations, so deserved.
One of the best moments of Mania today. Jacob Fatu, my man, great stuff today out of you.
Yadidadi!
Oh, they know what he means. Now, let's get to what we saw a little later on. This was a wrestling fans wrestling match between Seth Rollins and Gunther.
What time is it? Technically here in Vegas, it's 7:19 p.m. It's not too early to call this what it was, an instant classic. We knew it was two of the best in the business doing battle for a matter of pride on the grandest stage of them all, and Braun Breaker played spoiler in spectacular fashion. I don't know if anybody upset the WWE fans quite like Braun Breaker did tonight, but here are the closing moments. The career killer, the ring general, does not miss, capitalizing on the Braun Breaker interference and putting the Visionary to sleep. There's so much unfinished business here. I can't wait to know what the next chapter looks like.
And Eve, we talked about this week on First Take.
Oh boy, oh boy, 75-yard super spear.
Oh, we didn't talk about that part, but we did say somehow this match went on under the radar. Maybe the lack of build, but somehow Ian stole the night.
But if any match on the card could stand with a little bit less build, a little less time, it was this. Just think to, what?
You're more than welcome to sit in and join us, Paul. Well, we just... We just watched the 75-yard running super spear by Braun Breaker, and then your embrace with Braun Breaker. What can you tell us about the events of today, Paul?
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Paul Heyman. What I can tell you about the events of tonight, I'm sure this is no expose, is that what happened to Seth Rollins was all predetermined by me. I set his ass up from the very beginning, and I'm damn glad I did it. And if I burn in hell for my actions, there are not enough consequences for what I plan to do to Seth Rollins moving forward in the future. Did it bother you when Braun Breaker speared Seth Rollins in half? Did it bother you when Gunther deprived Seth Rollins of his oxygen and choked them? By the way, let's give Seth Rollins a lot of credit. That is a real man, and I say that for this reason. Any other human being in that condition, after getting speared by Braun Breaker and getting locked in the sleeper by Gunther, would have simply tapped out. But Seth Rollins had to be a hero. No, he had to let himself pass out and go out like a man. And going out is exactly what he did. And going out is exactly what will happen every single time he comes up against Paul Heyman and the Vision.
Speaking of the Vision, the six-man tag team match opened up our evening here on WrestleMania 42 with Logan Paul and Austin Theory in action. Would you like to share your thoughts on what we saw there?
Logan Paul and Austin Theory of the Vision are the tag team champions of the world. And tonight was a mere showcase of a bit of their talent. But anytime anyone wants to come up and challenge them, challenge the Vision, challenge Logan Paul and Austin Theory for the tag team titles, anyone that thinks that they are that good of a tag team can learn about losing to the Vision from Logan Paul and Austin Theory.
Well, Mr. Heyman, tonight, obviously you had a plan come to fruition, and I'm sure you're feeling fantastic about that, but we are on the eve of one of the biggest WrestleMania main events of all time, as your client, the Beast Incarnate, Brock Lesnar, steps into the ring with somebody that is unlike anyone Brock has ever faced before. Do you have the plan in place to ensure victory for Brock Lesnar once again over Oba Femi?
Oba Femi is the biggest, strongest, fastest, most impressive, most physically imposing, most violent competitor to debut in WWE since 2002, which featured the debut of Brock Lesnar. Oba Femi is the most dangerous competitor to debut in WWE since 2002, since the debut of Brock Lesnar. And all this hype has been lived up to by Oba Femi, and it will be no shame on Oba Femi. It will not besmirch the reputation of this man with a magnificent future. Tomorrow at 3 p.m. Pacific time, 6 p.m. Eastern time, when Oba Femi gets taken to Suplex City, gets F5, gets dumped on his head, gets beaten, victimized, and conquered by Brock Lesnar.
That is Paul Heyman.
I didn't get a chance to ask him about the favor that Gunther, maybe for another time.
We'll get to
As
that.
Paul Heyman going into detail on the return of Braun Breaker having speared Seth Rollins as he prepares for tomorrow's opening match, which will be, by the way, on ESPN, Oba Femi against Brock Lesnar. All right, listen, let's just get to the six-man tag team highlights that we were going to discuss.
This was a hell of a way to start the show, guys. Out of the gate, you see, I show speed. He's always hesitant. That's the only issue with speed. It ends up costing him the match right there.
Well, if somehow, some way in the future, I Show Speed ever gains confidence to act, to pull the trigger when need be, we could have another superstar on our hands. But this was not the way Logan nor Speed envisioned WrestleMania playing out for them.
Yeah, forget the result, forget the match, because the buzz item of the night is what happened after the match with Speed and Paul.
Look, we just got a little bit of taste, just a little taste of what I Show Speed can do. But look at this athleticism.
Wow.
From the top rope to the floor, to the table.
The Mania moment, the Speed splash Look at the height.
I got to tell you,
From high show speed.
Does that sick athleticism out of a novice remind you of anyone? Maybe.
Yeah, exactly.
Logan Paul.
Just a little bit. For a long time, you can attest to this. The outsiders, so to speak, weren't necessarily welcomed into the world of WWE. They were at least ostracized and, hey, you're taking somebody's spot. You don't belong here. Logan Paul changed up and flipped the script on everybody. And then to have Speed follow suit with that sort of athletic outing, even in defeat, you got to take these guys seriously.
But
respect where it's due.
Say what you want about Speed. He's a streamer. He does this and this. This dude is a freak athlete. He clearly has been putting the work in. If he keeps doing that, if he wants to keep doing this and keeps putting that work in, I think he can do some big things here.
And by the way, he's only 21 years old, and he comes into a spot like this in front of the world, in front of 50,000 here on Mania, and delivers that moment, the Speed Splash. All right, let's get to the Women's Intercontinental Championship match. The first time that it was on the line at WrestleMania, Becky and AJ Lee.
Well, this is the part for me, guys. This match has a lot of things to look at, but finally things came to a head between Becky Lynch and Jessica Carr, and AJ Lee, the victim of it all.
Kudos to AJ Lee for stepping up, for defending her gold on the grandest stage of them all. But listen, Becky Lynch touched a nerve with Jessica Carr. The two of these women have not gotten along with one another for far too long. Becky did put her hands on Jessica first. Jessica understood the magnitude of the moment, and it nearly cost Lynch the biggest opportunity recently that she's had to become Intercontinental Champion again.
Nearly, but not quite. And we see Becky willing to do whatever it takes. The hair pull here on AJ really turned things around and really landed, ended up being a big factor in the end of this match.
And listen, guys, you know it. She is the greatest of all time. It's not just me that says it, Graves.
Who else says it?
Sports Illustrated says it.
I don't remember.
Bleacher Report says it. Bleacher Report, that's another one that says it.
Afterwards, Jackie Redmond caught up with AJ Lee.
Backstage with AJ Lee. AJ, obviously not the result that you wanted tonight, but with the way Becky Lynch was able to get the victory, is there anything you want to say about the tactics?
I should have known better. I don't know, if Becky fights dirty, she plays dirty. I should have seen it coming. That's on me, right? She calls WrestleMania her home, and she was going to do anything it takes to win. She took my title from me, but I don't know, this was still a really special night. So once I get checked out from the doctors, I'll reassess and just try to appreciate the experience so far.
Well, before this match, you called Becky Lynch your Mount Everest, and I think the entire WWE universe would like to see you take another shot at it. We'll have to see if that's in the future. But you said this was still a special night. You had your family with you, your nieces during the entrance. Is this still one of your more memorable moments in WWE?
It's been my favorite WrestleMania experience so far. Maybe my favorite match so far. Even though I lost it, I got to have my family here for a lot of them. It was the first time ever. And what I wanted to do with that entrance was represent all the fans who have been with me from day one, who have been wearing my outfits, my shirts and my shorts and my shoes and skipping along with me the whole way. That was for you. I love you. I never got to say goodbye last time, and I felt bad about that. So this is not goodbye, but I'll see you soon, I hope.
This is about as genuine emotion as I've ever seen from you, and even in defeat, super gracious. And I think your impact on those girls that were out there with you, but just in general across the board, it's undeniable. I'm sorry it didn't go your way tonight, but I appreciate the time.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, AJ Lee. Great that she's able to join under such difficult circumstances. All right, let's get back to the big headline of the night, and that is the undisputed WWE Championship match and everything that went down between Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton.
AJ Lee showing grace in defeat. Randy Orton not extending the same opportunity.
Not quite.
Toward the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. We've seen it multiple times now, but we're still trying to digest. Turnabout is fair play. Randy attempted to go low. Cody one step ahead. Here we see Cody looking for a Cody cutter, but caught out of midair with an RKO. In this instance, Randy unable to capitalize. Pat McAfee would return in referee stripes. A failed fast count attempt earned Pat an RKO, which opened the door for the American Nightmare to deliver the Crossroads and retain at the Showcase of the Immortals.
And you would think at this moment it's a night for Cody Rhodes to celebrate getting over this mountain of Randy Orton and Pat McAfee, but obviously that good feeling wouldn't last for long.
We typically think of WrestleMania as a culmination of these feuds, but this is clearly going on.
I want to show you Cody's eye here. Look at Cody's left eye at the conclusion of the match. This was a brutal championship match, and what we try to do here on the WrestleMania Countdown show is give you unprecedented access. This is a live camera right now, backstage, as the medical staff is tending to the undisputed champion. Look at that left eye of Cody Rhodes.
Nah.
Reminds me
There
when the
was a
American
level of
Dream had a
brutality.
spike put in his eye by the
You know,
road.
guys, that is one of those championship matches where something is taken away from each man. For Randy Orton, you saw his back issues throughout the entirety of that match, and yet he was putting himself in position to try to deliver more and more pain. I mean, the suplex, everything, time and again, he was wincing. Then by the end of that, Corey, the damage done to the face of Cody Rhodes, the title dome shot that he took as well.
Joe, this truly shouldn't come as a surprise to anybody watching. This is WrestleMania. We call it the Showcase of the Immortals, the grandest stage of them all, for a reason. To main event WrestleMania, whether you're a defending champion or you're a challenger, is the greatest honor. It's the pinnacle of this industry. So you know full well Randy Orton was going to give it his all. He was going to stop at nothing. Cody Rhodes, unfortunately for Randy tonight, was prepared. Cody was prepared for whatever he thought Randy could throw at him.
But we've seen this visual from Cody Rhodes far too often. I just wonder, when is his breaking point? We have seen him battered and bruised and beaten time and time again, and Randy Orton is not done with him. This is a Randy Orton who is sick of Pat's nonsense. He is sick of the stuff with Cody. He is coming on, I don't know what he's going to do on Friday at SmackDown, but he's coming with a vengeance, I promise.
Well, that is one of the big questions. What is going to happen now when we get to Friday Night SmackDown with these two?
Well, we talked about this earlier. I'm completely lost now. I have no idea where this goes. Is Pat McAfee there on Friday night? Where is the Pat McAfee union with Randy Orton? That is clearly over. And frankly, what is Cody Rhodes' ability to do anything? Not just the eye busted open, I'm guessing, by the title, but also the punt to the head. He'll be in concussion protocol for the next 3 days.
By the way, I want to show everybody the scene here as over 50,000 were inside Allegiant Stadium. Spectacular scene here as the fans have come out to this WrestleMania post-show. And we remind you, the WrestleMania post-show is presented by Snickers. Snickers satisfies. Now, among all the championship matches we had tonight, there was a thriller and there was a title change. And she is the Women's World Champion now, Liv Morgan.
Liv, you came into this match with, sorry, we'll give you some more time. There it is.
What is your deal, dude?
Liv, you came into this match with a hematoma, with 2 black eyes. Did you feel like you were kind of limping into this match, that you weren't at full strength? Did that worry you at all?
I was definitely beat up for sure. But that just made me that much more determined to beat her.
Let's get to your entrance. Let's get through the match. Let's get to your new song. and this unbelievable entrance you had, new video you have. But this is the moment here. Here it is. I mean, this thing's been going crazy viral, Liv.
Oh, you're doing it right now. You're acting out the choreo right here live in front of the people. How long did you work on this?
A day, today. I'm just that talented that we just ate that just like that.
Oh, that's improv. That's just on the fly.
That's right.
That's what you said.
Guys, look at me. Are you kidding me? Look at me! Oh my God! I ate that! I ate that!
You did. No question.
Any chance you could teach me how to do that crawl with the back thing? That thing?
I can do it. You want to do it right now?
Probably not right now.
Right now. You want to do it
Probably not time for that. I gotta, no. Don't encourage her. No.
You're not.
No. I
is
set
this
myself
happening?
up for this.
Is this happening now?
It's not happening.
No, I think he wants. Show
We need to
him.
see it. We need to see it.
Yeah. Here we go. This is going to be a moment.
Oh, boy. Watch out.
Give it up for Corey. Let's hype him
Oh,
up.
Corey, look at the things you
This
get
is the
yourself
worst
into.
idea I've ever had.
Play my music. Play my music.
Yeah, play that song.
Go ahead and play back the song.
Do it.
My body doesn't move that way. Do it. I feel like I'm in a dry heat.
You got it. I'm your bad.
Oh, great. You know what? We're good. Thank you. That's enough.
I'm just saying.
No, great job.
I regret saying you should have done that. I ate it. She said so.
Don't ever do that again. I thought you were medically cleared.
My wife is a professional dancer. You imagine what I'm going to get here with when I get home?
Do you also want a code breaker off of the desk and Oblivion to follow it up?
I'll pass.
Okay.
I'll pass. Thank you very much.
Because that's how you won this thing. Congratulations. And by the way, did you ever earn it with the build and promotion leading up to this with the golf ball size knot on the head? And they appreciate it, Liv.
By the way, Liv, a good. No.
Run
Not
it back.
one more time.
Run my song back.
No.
They want you to do it, not me. No.
All right, take us out, Tess.
Honestly, this is the kind of post-show analysis that the people demand. This is newsy, folks.
Real professional show we run here.
Brave shows up on the post show one time
That's it.
and starts doing the worm.
That's it. Trouble. No.
I hope your wife is watching, dude.
I cannot wait for Corey to get back to Pittsburgh and get the reaction from his family.
They might not let me back in the house.
We're going crazy here. We're going crazy
The
here.
last time you won a title in Vegas, I saw you carrying it through the casino. What are the odds
And
we
I'm
see
gonna do
that
it
happen
again tonight.
Thank you.
Y'all can find me at the MGM Grand.
All right, let's get to the highlights and take us through it and tell us what you thought of accomplishing this,
Okay,
Liv.
do you want to know what I really, really, really think?
I do.
Okay,
Judgment
so
Day always getting involved.
for 4 months, Stephanie has been saying something that's really, really, really kind of stuck in my mind. She's been saying that I cannot get it done on my own and that I hide behind my friends. And she is absolutely right!
Liv, this thing really got heated between the two of you. There are a lot of things being said about mothers and mud huts. Why do you think this got so out of control between the two of you?
I think what had happened is that Stephanie misjudged me. She berated me, she embarrassed me, she tried to discredit me for all my hard work the last 11 years. She gave me a hematoma, which led to 2 black eyes. She hit Dominic, she made Raquel's life miserable. So this was all super duper warranted.
What's going to make this reign different for Liv Morgan?
I don't think I need to do anything different.
Just wanna
I'm
run it
iconic,
back.
yeah, I'm just gonna run it back.
And
And,
are we
I'm
gonna-
gonna do what I do in the way that only I know how to do
And
it.
are we going to get like more music? Is there going to be like a music career for Liv Morgan now?
We'll see.
Well, what you do very well is win and then come on this set post-show and take the thing over, and you did that again tonight. Congratulations to the new Women's World Champion, Liv Morgan. Trouble is going to be playing all night long here in Vegas. Deep into the night, Liv Morgan is your new Women's world champion. On an outrageously entertaining day one at WrestleMania. She delivered on everything she said. So now the stage is set for day two here in Vegas. And what is perhaps the buzziest match of all. We'll start things off at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 local time on ESPN, regular linear ESPN. It is Brock Lesnar against Oba Femi. Also on ESPN, you will have Penta defending the Intercontinental Championship in a 6-man ladder match. Of course, it all leads to CM Punk and Roman Reigns for the World Heavyweight Championship. But I will ask each of you before we say goodnight, where are your eyes of intrigue headed for Sunday?
Look, I'm a huge Oba feminist, but besides that match, the ladder match, I think, is really going to put on Javon Evans. We have talked about this young man for months. He is going to show up with Dragon Lee, JD McDonough, Rey Mysterio, Penta. This thing is stacked. I am excited for the ladder match.
Yeah, I'm with E. I was always a huge fan of the Money in the Bank ladder match being on WrestleMania. Of course, it blew up, got its own PLE, but that moment on ESPN, by the way, gonna be incredible.
Listen, this is gonna be a boring prediction for me, but the main event, CM Punk defending the World Heavyweight Championship against the Tribal Chief, Roman Reigns. This rivalry has become so personal over the past several months. It comes to a head at WrestleMania, grandest stage of them all. I think Punk shocks the world.
We are going to be right back in these seats for the Countdown Show tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern, noon Pacific. How about these fans?
How about these hips?
We'll see you tomorrow at WrestleMania Day 2. That does it for the post show. Have a great night, everybody. You got a great one coming your way tomorrow.
For the second straight year, over 50,000 WWE fans are at Allegiant Stadium, now hosting the greatest spectacle in all of live entertainment. Welcome to WrestleMania!
I bet you never thought you'd see a moment like this. Now you're making money, but you're not on the list. No one's taking credit without taking the risk.
With
your decision when you choose your dose. More is always better, but you
a WrestleMania moment for speed.
I called it an old friend.
Paige, she's back! Paige and Brie with the tag titles. And the big man gonna fly.
Blind and single for the fortune and fame. Molotov cocktails on the brain. Lightning in a bottle never strikes the same. So call me Rocksteady, give me 4 on the floor. Now it's getting heavy when it rains.
Into the exposed turnbuckle. Becky Lynch on top of the world. Braun Breaker with a spear. Gunther wins. Championship in a match that has been building for 20 years. Cody Rhodes defends the undisputed WWE Championship against the Viper Randy Orton.